All all right, welcome everyone to our nightlife. This is our first one. This is TD's Sports Press. This is TD Sports Press. This is our first episode that we are doing of this series where we go live after college basketball games. So we're gonna get started. So if you guys want to know a little about me, we did a lot during college football season, a lot of podcast stuff. We're gonna do some college basketball stuff on this channel as well. We're gonna do college football, college basketball, and we're going to focus on college basketball till March Madness. So welcome everyone in. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys subscribe. Check out both TikToks. Got TD Sports Press on TikTok. We also have TD Hoops Press on TikTok as well, both there as well. So welcome everyone in. So we're at like I said, tonight we're going to get into the Michigan State game. What a game that was for both teams. St. Louis, man, why is no one talking about them? Nova, they roll. They're going to keep going. We're going to talk a little bit more about that game. And then we got some previews of some really good games going on tomorrow. So it should be great. So we're gonna get right into it. And we have to start with Michigan beats Michigan State 83-71. What a game this was. If you guys didn't watch this game, I'll give you guys a little recap. Michigan State, they started this game in the first half. Both teams were really struggling to find footing. Michigan went up, got a head start up 7-0. And they kind of had the lead, I would say, for the majority of the game. I mean, Michigan State maybe got it a couple times in the second half. But going into halftime, I mean, Michigan was probably up, if I had to think, Michigan was probably up 18, I think, going into halftime. And Michigan State, you got to give a credit where credit's due. They crawled back. I think they had the lead at one point. I think they were maybe up 2. Maybe they tied it with like 7 or 8 or 7 minutes to go. And then Michigan in their guard play, man. Well, that number, Michigan's number 3 had an absolute huge game. I mean, he hit a big 3. He did something he probably should have got a technical foul for. I mean, that was absolutely crazy to do at a basketball game what he did. I can't say what he did on the stream or we'll get banned. But if you guys were watching the game, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, it was absolutely crazy. But Michigan, I mean, my takeaway of this game for Michigan State is Michigan just found ways to win this game. Well, whether that was getting a defensive stop, getting a defensive rebound, hitting a big 3 to stop a Michigan State run. I mean, Michigan State went on that 9-0 run, and then Michigan hits a big shot, getting fouled, whatever it was. When it felt like whenever Michigan needed to get a basket, they were able to do that. And that's why they won this basketball game. I think Michigan State is a really good basketball team. They just had more mistakes than Michigan did. And there are times where Michigan just has way too many turnovers. That's why they have one loss. I mean, if you take away Michigan's turnovers, we might be talking about one of the best basketball teams in college basketball history. And I'm not even exaggerating when I'm saying that. So, yeah, like stuff like that is very, very interesting with that. So, like I said, absolutely, this was a huge win for Michigan. Had to have this going into just to keep going. And Michigan State, they just got to find ways to win. They just have to find ways to win. They're right there. I think they have the pieces. I think Jeremiah Fear is a great guard. I think he had some costly turnovers, some boneheaded decisions he's got to clean up if they're going to win these close games. I mean, it was a 12-point game, but I mean, the whole probably from like 11 minutes to go in the second half to the end of the game, I mean, it was a 1-possession, 2-possession game for the most part. I mean, Michigan did end up winning. You got to give them credit for how much they won by. But, yeah, that's what I would probably say. So, absolutely huge win for Michigan. One of the best teams in the country. Still think Arizona's number 1. But after watching Michigan this week, you talk about the week they had. They beat Nebraska, number 5 Nebraska, and they beat number 7 Michigan State. I mean, that is a great week. Great for Michigan. I mean, Dusty May does a great job there. And the environment at East Lansing was awesome. I mean, everything was crazy. The fans were awesome. It was really, really – it was fun to watch that game. It was really fun to watch. So you have to give Michigan their props for winning this game. And, yeah, I think they'll probably stay on the 1 line for the seed line. You look at Michigan State. I currently have them on a 3 seed. I think they'll probably stay there. I think it would take a lot for them to move down a seed line. So, but, yeah, great win for Michigan State. Had to have that game. So, so that's going to lead us right into our next topic that we have for you guys tonight, which is St. Louis, man. I know not a lot of people. St. Louis is ranked number 23 in the country right now. Went and played Dayton. They are out of the A10. If you guys don't know who any of these are, but we got to cover all these games. And St. Louis shot 60. I think my math is right. 63% from three. That is like unheard of. I mean, your average college basketball team is probably shooting around 40%, give or take. And they shot 62. They almost shot better from the the free throw line than they did the 3-point line. I mean, you just don't see that. I mean, that just show. I mean, I think they were 65% from the foul line, but I mean, they scored 102 points. This game wasn't even close. I mean, it was 42-18 at one point. And St. Louis, man, after losing those pieces to Iowa, I mean, they rebuild and they retool. It's fun to see these mid-major teams, like their coaches get poached, but they just keep they don't make excuses. They just find ways to keep winning. And St. Louis, I mean, they're going to keep moving up in my seed line, currently right in that 7 to 9 range right now. We're going to see what they keep doing. They're coming off a game they didn't look too impressive in earlier this week, and then they do this performance, scoring 102 points and having a 3-point percentage of 63% shooting from the foul line with 65%. One of the craziest stat sheets that I have seen. I mean, in St. Louis, and then I know Dayton's like they're not their typical power that they normally are, where they're normally at the top of the A10. But you got to give St. Louis credit for the performance they put on tonight. I know a lot of us might have been watching this Michigan State game. I was tuning in back and forth so I could be able to be talking about both these games. And St. Louis looked absolutely amazing. Great win for them. They had to have it, and they're going to stay ranked. They'll probably be ranked. Probably right around the 20 range. Maybe they get up to the 21-20. We'll see. Obviously some teams do have to end up getting beat, some things like that. So, but you got to give credit where credit's due for St. Louis. Our next game tonight we will be talking about. Excuse me. Villanova beats Providence 87-73. And this comes, if you guys didn't see all the controversy or you guys don't follow me on X, there was a CBS Sports somebody that said that Connecticut hasn't been tested in the Big East. I don't know if they just forgot Villanova was in there, because Villanova is currently probably going to be on the 6th seed line for me, and they keep getting better. I mean, that former Maryland coach Kevin does a great job with that squad, and I mean, Villanova has the full package. They have a great big guy. They have guys around him that can shoot, and I think this is a team that as we keep going, we're going to be talking about them. Maybe as a sleeper to make a run in March Madness. We're going to see what that ends up happening, and we're going to see when they're going to be playing their best ball. But, I mean, Villanova, Providence has been a scrappy team. I mean, they played with UConn for probably about 35 minutes again on Tuesday. And Villanova, they really controlled this game from start to finish. And it's just one of those wins you have to stay in the, if you want a good seed with a chance to make the second weekend of the tournament. So, absolutely great win for Villanova, and that's just what you need. So those are the games of filming, or excuse me, these are the games that have been filmed by the time of this filming. And yeah, so Villanova, St. Louis, Michigan, big wins. Grand Canyon and Boise State are going on as we speak, and I think Grand Canyon was up 16. They'll probably end up winning. That's a huge win for Grand Canyon to end up pulling that one out. It's just the one they had to have. I mean, Grand Canyon. They're getting close to being considered on the bubble line. Super hard to win at Grand Canyon. Have a great home atmosphere. One of probably the best in mid majors. So huge win. So with that being said, those are the games for tonight. Obviously, our big one was Michigan State. And with that being said, that's going to get us right into our previews for tomorrow. What a day of college basketball. The college basketball Saturday is amazing. We got to love it. And I, in my theory, this game is probably the biggest of them all. Kansas will be playing at home against BYU. Kansas coming into this game, Darian Peterson didn't play in their last game. He should be, from what we've been hearing from Bill Self, he'll be playing. BYU coming off that heartbreaking loss to Arizona on Monday, where they were down by 18, and they got it all the way down to, I think they were down 1, and they ended up getting beat. But let's do a preview on this game. BYU, the keys for BYU to win this basketball game, they have to get the ball moving. When you watch, I watched the whole 40 minutes of BYU. I think Rob Wright and AJ were right around 9 of 40 from field goal range. And if I remember right, on Rob Wright's misses, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Rob Wright's misses, I think Arizona scored 10 points in fast break transitioning. And it's not like they were like Rob Wright's got to get better shots if BYU is going to win this game. He's either got to pass the ball, he's got to stop settling for those contested two-point mid-range jump shots. The next thing is AJ. He's got to move the basketball. He's a great talent, but every time AJ touches the basketball, the ball sticks. Like he goes ISO every single time, or he just holds it and then he passes it. There's not a reversal. BYU's offense, the reason why they got back into the game against Arizona was because they were able to move the ball around. They got a great shooter in Richie. He's a great shooter. Richie Saunders, great player. They have a good post. It just feels their offense gets stagnant at times. A lot of spectators, not a lot of off-ball movement. And they're not even looking for the off-ball movement. So I don't even blame people for cutting because they're not even going to get the ball. So that's the key for BYU. The key for Kansas is you got to play at your tempo. Whether that they just got to play at their tempo. They're at their best when Darian Peterson has taken the offense. They also have Council as well. Council, if you don't know who he is, go watch his highlights against NC State. Absolutely amazing player. And it's going to be a great matchup between these two squads. At Kansas, if you guys haven't seen, Kansas has been camping out at this game since like Tuesday. It was on their Twitter. They were like, at Allen Fieldhouse. So, yeah, absolutely. And who am I going to pick to win this game? Man, this is a really tough one. I've been going back and forth. I am going to take Kansas to win this basketball game. I think Kansas is going to win this game. I like them at home. I think Darian Peterson's really good. And BYU's offense just really scares me. I don't like the things they do on offense. I think Kansas is going to win this basketball game. Should be an absolutely great game. Moving on to our next game that we'll be previewing tomorrow. Kentucky will be making their trip from Lexington to Fayetteville to play Arkansas. And if you guys are new to basketball or didn't know, John Calipari used to coach at Kentucky, and he willingly left to go to Arkansas. And both teams, Arkansas, they're at the top of the SEC. Kentucky had won 6 straight until getting blown out by Vandy on Wednesday. And Arkansas had a big come behind win against Oklahoma. So how do I see this game going? You just looking at both these squads, like Mark Pope probably saved his job. Is it the hot seat still warm at Kentucky? Probably, but he saved his job. I mean, if you guys were in a coma from the LSU first half, like say we're in a coma and LSU Kentucky goes at half. LSU was up 20 at halftime. And I thought the world was going to fall down in Lexington, Kentucky. Thought that was going to happen. Kentucky comes out, wins at the buzzer in that game, and then they go out and win 5 more games after that. I mean, absolutely saved his job, huge wins, and they're going to go into Fayetteville to play John Calipari in this Arkansas squad that has been really good. They have a huge win against Vandy last week. They come behind against Oklahoma. They beat LSU, and now they get Kentucky on their home floor. This should be a great game in the SEC. The SEC has a lot of good teams. I'm not sure they have any great teams. So that's something that I am really focused on about this game. So looking at this game, I'm going to take Arkansas to win this game. I think Kentucky, they're going to be playing better than what they showed against Vandy. But I think Arkansas and John Calipari, if you guys remember last year, Arkansas had zero hope for this college basketball season until they went into went into Kentucky and beat Kentucky, and then they went on their little run to the Sweet 16. So I think that John Calipari is going to have the boys ready to go. I'm going to take Arkansas to win a very good basketball game. And then for our mid-major college basketball game of the day, if you guys follow the Mountain West, this is probably the best rivalry game in the Mountain West. Utah State will be playing San Diego State. Utah State, this is at the Spectrum. San Diego State coming into this game, they don't have one of their big posts. He is out for this game. And they also have another starter that might be out. They might be out they might only have 3 of their 5 starters going into this game. San Diego State coming off a win against Colorado State. And then you got Utah State coming off that massive. They have two big wins against Colorado State and Wyoming. They had that little slump at Utah State did when they got beat by Grand Canyon and UNLV at home, which is puzzling in itself. But man, we get Utah State, San Diego State. Anytime these two teams play, it's like cinema. It doesn't matter where the game's at. It's going to be a full crowd. If you guys don't know what the Spectrum is, you guys got to do some research. Like the Spectrum is probably the best mid-major environment for a college basketball game. I've been to that before. It's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. So, yeah, Utah State, Mason Falstaff, great player. MJ Collins, also a great player. And San Diego State's got Miles Bryde. He's a really good guard as well. But how do I see this game going down? Who am I going to pick to win this game? Utah State at the Spectrum against San Diego State. Give me Utah State to win this game at home. Utah State, I have them about in the 9 range on my bracketology. They need to stack. This would be like their best win of the year if they're able to have that. Like you look at their resume, they have that bad loss to UNLV, but other than that, they got beat by South Florida in December. But yeah, like Utah State, like they need this to keep moving up. And San Diego State, I have them as my last team in. They have to, like, their room for error if they lose this game is really, really thin. They have to win this game to stay in my bracketology. So give me Utah State to win this game at home. I think Mason Falstaff, I think the crowd's going to go crazy. Like the Spectrum's awesome. Spectrum's awesome. One of the best atmospheres for college basketball there is. So give me Utah State to win this game. Should be a great game, Utah State, San Diego State. So that is our preview, and we're going to start as a new segment because this is our first episode we've ever done of this. We're going to do losers and winners of the night, and we are going to end the show with the winner. So we're going to start with our winner of the night, and we are going to end with our loser of the night because I have a little bit of a rant. I forgot. That is true. Winner of the night. Dusty May is the winner of the night of the TD SportsPress first ever episode after dark, Hoops After Dark episode. So, yeah, Dusty May did a great coaching job. I mean, he did everything they had to. Michigan came in, huge win, trusted his players. I mean, there were times where Michigan could have faulted, but they didn't. So you got to give him credit for that. So the winner of the night for me is Dusty May. I think that's pretty obvious why it is him. And then, yeah, so that's our full show tonight. So this is TD Sports Press. This is our first episode of TD Sports Press Hoops After Dark. And we'll be back live. It'll be live every single college basketball day at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for everyone that tuned in to our first episode. We'll be back live tomorrow, same time. Great day of college basketball hoops. Super excited for it. And with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow.